Breaking news. Bitcoin bull run has not started. Wow. Bitcoin bull run hasn't started? I mean, we have an 8% candle on the weekly chart for Bitcoin. I thought that meant the Bitcoin bull run started. What is up, everybody? Three things in this video. Number one, we're going to talk about the Bitcoin bull run everybody's been waiting for years. Let's face it. Why it hasn't started yet, which is a really good thing. Number two, I'm going to be talking about the short-term charts, what's going on. And number three, we're going to talk about $10,000. This is a very important number. I'm going to try and make it so that it doesn't sound like your typical $10,000 meme, but it's a really important area on the charts that we have to look at. So let's jump into the charts. I go on YouTube and, I'm a crypto YouTuber. I talk about Bitcoin a lot, so it's natural that I see a lot of Bitcoin videos. Everybody's doing their thing. Props to every YouTuber doing their thing, putting in work, but there is a lot of hype, and it doesn't sit well with me because there's been no indicator that a bull run has started, especially for Bitcoin. And that's good news for you. That's good news for me because right now Bitcoin's at $9,900. It hasn't even broken 10,000 yet. There are so many bullish indicators, but a bull run has not started. If we zoom out on the weekly chart, everybody, we know this requires some patience. And if we can be patient, we can probably all make more money than getting over emotional and overhyped in these markets. It doesn't make sense to do that. So let's zoom out on the charts, and here it is on the weekly. We know 2021 is a year that is very speculatively, I should say, being looked at and looked forward to for ridiculous gains in cryptocurrency markets. And that applies to altcoins. Altcoins have been performing really well, but I dare say that the altcoin season hasn't even begun yet. Altcoins are still so far away from their recent all-time highs and have so much more upside and growth potential. But we're talking about, a time frame of more than 12 months. We're talking 12 months to 24 months worth of potential gains here. So please sit back, be patient. And I'm saying that to you because that's something I have to tell myself every day. We see Bitcoin charts, we see crypto charts, they go a little crazy, and it's easy to get hyped into it. So let's really start digging into this. I do want to talk about what is going on in the short term. I think it's important, and there will be some bullish confirmations that could potentially be hit where we could be inching our way towards that bull market we all want. So let's first start with this video, and this was from 4 days ago. If Bitcoin makes a move, which I would love to see Bitcoin bullishly break through this trend line, 9550 area, make a move, I don't know, see a little resistance, 9,700. Even if we reach 9,900 in a short-term bull run, Bitcoin revisiting this trend line all the way down here, 9,500 again, don't freak out. Don't freak out. So we've hit 9,900, right? And we can go to the charts. Let's go to a short-term zoomed-in chart. I know I have one somewhere. Where is it? We need a short-term 6 hour. Here we go. So this is it. Like, this has played out well so far for Bitcoin. This is a nice story being told on these charts. And you can see Bitcoin, here's this ascending triangle we were tracking for some time, right? And we got the breakout through 99.50 or 95.50, extremely important area for Bitcoin to break. And we've even hit our $9,900 target. Right now, currently, Bitcoin is trading at like $9,900, right? So we're kind of messing around in a very volatile zone. And I would say $9,900 to this swing high. It's like a 2 to 3% zone for Bitcoin. Potential resistance at this area. And what I was talking about in that area, in that video that I just played a clip from, is we hit this target now. Maybe we break through. That would be very solid to see Bitcoin continue from here, right? That is the most bullish thing that could happen when Bitcoin surpasses a target and then actually uses that target as some type of support. That's what we want to see. But Bitcoin has moved. Altcoins are really moving the last couple days. And there's a lot of hype, and it's easy for that to happen. But I always want to kind of be that voice of reason to myself as well, because the charts and the technicals are always kind of very synergistic historically and currently. So if we see potential resistance here, just be prepared for a throwback to this trend line, $9,500. And again, that could be a setup for bullish confirmation. This is an environment where if Bitcoin is currently in a kind of this uptrend right now, right? That is an environment that many people will use as a conservative confirmation to accumulate more Bitcoin and get ready for that blast off through 10,000. But this might take some patience. I'm not saying that that's what's going to happen. I'm saying to be prepared. So now let's talk about this. Let's talk about $10,000 because we just tested it again, right? And it's easy to be like, oh, let's talk about this being the last time Bitcoin is at $10,000. It's easy to do that, but there actually is a case why this might be the last time Bitcoin tests $10,000, and it's on the charts. There's data, and I just want to discuss it with you. I want to show it to you. So first off, here's Bitcoin on the weekly. This is one huge pattern we've been talking about. It's an inverse head and shoulders, right? 10,500 is the neckline. A breakout above 10,500 is a huge bullish confirmation for Bitcoin, especially if we get some separation above 10,500. That could potentially be kind of a support area for Bitcoin in continuation to the upside. That's one technical pattern that we are almost at the end of, right? Meaning $10,000 is very confluent with that area, 10,500 neckline, right? Because this 10,500 is actually the wick on these weekly charts. If you go down to 10,000, now we're really looking at the weekly closes and openings on this weekly chart. So 10,000, huge on this Bitcoin chart, inverse head and shoulders. But if we kind of dig into this a little bit more, I have 2014 to 2016 opened. And before I dig into it, look at this picture, right? This is the chart, 2014, 16. We're talking about like a bull market high, and then we're talking about a bear market low. So this whole entire cycle for Bitcoin. Now look at this, 2017 to bull market high, right? To the bear market low, and same type of cycle happening. Now let's look. This yellow line running across is kind of like this $600 area for Bitcoin. Now I'm very much likening that area to $10,000 now, right? So $6,000 back then, we broke it here, we tested it here, we tested it, we're above it, we're testing it again, we're testing it again pre-halving, we're testing it again post-halving, finally we break through it. It's a really interesting area on these charts to look at. And then if we look at 10,000, it almost looks identical. We're breaking 10,000. We're testing it here after that bull market high. We're testing it again here. We're testing it pre-halving. We're testing it pre-halving. We're testing it post-halving. Do you see the similarities between 600 and 10,000? Now, the reason I'm showing you this is because we always pick apart different data points to show the synergies of Bitcoin cycles zoomed out on the macro chart. And when we do that, it could be $600 versus $10,000. We see the harmonies there. It could be the Fibonacci retracements and resistances that we see on the Bitcoin charts. So many different data points that bring the charts together, that bring the cycles together, that reflect the cycles. And it helps us look historically at the charts to get an idea of what actually might be getting ready to happen. And in this case, with many other things, this is what might be getting ready to happen. Bitcoin blasted through 600, finally, right? After we're talking years of seeing resistance there, and potentially Bitcoin getting ready to blast through 10,000 after, once again, years of telling the 10,000 story. If you remember, we never saw $600 again in terms of Bitcoin charts. So, best case scenario, we never see $10,000 again. And the other thing is this: we tested $10,000 a lot in the past, but what is different? We are post 2020 halving. Same here. We were post 2016 halving. Bitcoin's getting ready to enter a bull cycle. It wasn't there yet, but it was getting ready. And when I say it wasn't there yet, we're talking about that Fibonacci retracement, bull market doors. There it is, right here. We're talking like that $900 some down to $700 some. Bitcoin finally eventually got there, broke through into the bull market. That's the bull market confirmation, not an 8% move on the Bitcoin weekly chart when we're still under 10,000. That's not a bull market confirmation, everybody. I'm telling you. And I think it's very important to realize that because we need patience. We really need patience in these markets. So same thing, what we're looking for, and this is the daily zoomed out, is Bitcoin swing high to swing low on these on this last Bitcoin cycle, bull market doors all the way up here, $16,000 to $13,000. That is the signal for the bull market has started when we're trading above that area. Now, on the short term, right? If we go back to these zoomed in charts, what we're looking at for Bitcoin is very simple. If we zoom out of here, if we zoom out on the 6 hour, Bitcoin's operating within a couple short term patterns, right? Here's one, that symmetrical triangle we've been tracking, this ascending triangle. Bitcoin's telling the story of working its way up, right? If we hit the symmetrical triangle target, we're talking 11,159. So let's keep zooming out on this 6 hour chart. It's going to get a little messy, but it paints the picture. 11,159, then we are actually above, and let me actually just change this to a daily chart. We would be above the long-term trend line that you see here from the symmetrical triangle. Let me just delete some of these things. And there it is. We'd be above this long-term trend line, and that could be a potential like first sign that the bull market is near. The bulls are so close to breaking that 13,000, 16,000. And then maybe we have some consolidation, support above that trend line for a little bit going into fall or something. And then we break into the bull market. That's a speculative thing. Could Bitcoin right now just go from 9,900 to like 13,000 in the next week? Yes. Is it likely? It's not as likely as it happening slowly, but surely. So these are the charts. These are my charts, I should say. These are my thoughts. These are my opinions. This isn't financial advice. I really just wanted to share it with you. Let me know your thoughts below. Do you really think a Bitcoin bull run has started? Do you buy into all these hyped videos on YouTube? I just don't. And I'm just throwing my thoughts out there, throwing the data out there. And at the end of the day, time will tell. Patience is extremely valuable in these markets, especially if you want to keep accumulating and not FOMOing in to the hype. Everybody, thank you for coming by. If you're here and not a subscriber, hit the subscribe button. I would love to see you in the next video. Have an awesome day, an awesome Sunday, and God bless.